Welcome to my channel, viewers. We are discussing factorization of algebraic expression. This is lesson 12 of class 8 Cbse curriculum. So let us first recall the distributive property we discussed earlier in case of number system. We remember, say for example, if A, B and C are three real numbers and A into B plus C, we can write it as A multiplied by B plus A multiplied by C, right? So this is known as factor form. A into B plus C means it's a product of A and B plus C. So we find first number A multiplied by B, AB and AC. This is called distributive property. Same way you can write B plus C multiplied by A. Suppose answer is same. This is BA plus CA, or you can write it as AB plus AC. This is left distributive property and this is right distributive. Now we remember one thing, AB equal to BA. Commutativity, right? AB product of A and B is same as product of B and A, right? So when we are given in this form AB plus AC, then taking A as a common factor, we can write it in factor form, right? Say for example, you are given twice of A plus twice of B. Now here we see here common factor is 2. So if you write common factor outside the bracket, so inside bracket you will write A plus B, twice of A into B. This is factor form. So when you write twice A plus twice B in factor form, you will write 2 into A plus B. This is called factorization of twice A plus twice B, right? So to factorize given algebraic expression, we have to find first common factors. So let us first discuss the method of finding common factors. How will I find common factors? Say for example, 14 PQ and 28 P square Q square. So what are the common factors of these two terms? Suppose now what is 14 PQ? If you find the prime factorization of 14, you will write 2 into 7 into PQ means product of P into Q. Then 28 P square Q square means what is the prime factorization of 28? 2 into 2 into 7. P square means P into P. Q square means Q into Q. So let us write common factors here. Common factors. 2 is common factor here. Then this 2 is not a common factor. This 2 is a factor of this term, but not a factor of 14 PQ. 7 is a common factor of 14 PQ and 28 P square Q square. So 7 is also common factor. Then this P is a common factor. This Q is a common factor. So answer is 14 PQ, right? So common factor of 14 PQ and 28 P square Q square is 14 PQ. Let us do one more example. Say you are given, suppose 16x cube, then minus 4x square, then 32x. Find the common factors of these three terms, suppose. So 16x cube means if you do prime factorization of 16, 2 into 2 into 2, x cube means x multiplied by x multiplied by x, minus 4x square equal to, you can write it as minus 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. X square means x multiplied by x, 32x. This you can write 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by x. Now let us write the common factors here. Common factors. This 2 is a common, right? Then again this 2, it's a common factor. Then x is common factor. So answer is 4x. So common factor of these three terms is 4x, right? Let us write common factors of, say, 3x square y cube, 10 x cube y square, 6x square y square multiplied by z. So let us find the factors of these common factors of these three terms. So we'll first write the factors of 3x square y cube. So 3 is a prime number, so you cannot simplify more. You will write it as 3 multiplied by x multiplied by x multiplied by y multiplied by y multiplied by y. Then 10 x cube y square means 2 multiplied by 5. X cube means x multiplied by x multiplied by x. Y square means y multiplied by y. Then 6x square y square z means 2 into 3 x multiplied by x multiplied by y multiplied by y multiplied by z. So what are the common factors here? Common factors here, you see, common factors are 3 is not a common factor, 2 is not a common factor, and even 5 is also not a common factor. So only alphabets remains here, right? Variable terms. So is x is a common factor here? This x is a common factor. Then again second x, this is also a common factor. Then y, this y is a common factor of all these three terms. Y, y, y. Then second y is, if it is a common factor, y, y, y. Then is z a common factor? No, z is not a common factor of all the three terms. Z is a factor of third term, but it's not in first and second term. So there is no more common factors here. Since we use this multiplication, so just we are writing 1. This will not impact anymore. So answer is x square y square. Common factor of these three terms is x square y square. So we have learned how to find common factors of algebraic expressions, right? So now we will use these ideas to factorize algebraic expressions. So when you find like AB plus AC, you know the common factor of both these terms is A. So in factor form, you will write A into B plus C. So factorization of AB plus AC is A into B plus C. It's a product of two terms, A, and first term is A, second term is B plus C. So it's a factor form of AB plus AC. Similarly, AB plus AC plus AD, suppose. So common factor of these three terms is A. So in factor form, we will write B plus C plus D. It's a product of two terms, A and B plus C plus D. It's one second term is b plus c plus d, first term is a. So it's a product of two terms, right? Now let us factorize this question number 2 here. Suppose 7x minus 42. Now 7x minus 42 means 7 multiplied by 6. So what is the common factor here? Just compare with this AB plus AC. Here AB minus AC. So 7 multiplied by x minus 6. So this is the factor form of 7x minus 42. Right? This was the difference between two terms. We express it as the product of two terms. First term is 7, second term is x minus 6. So it's a product of two terms. So it is called factorization of 7x minus 42. Similarly, 6p minus 12q, suppose. So 6p means 6 into p minus 12q means 6 into 2 into q. So what is the common factor here? 6 is the common factor only. So answer is p minus twice of q. Right? So for example, 16 minus 16z plus 20 z cube. Right? So what is the common factors of 16 and 20? Both are divisible by 4. So we can write it as 4 multiplied by minus 4z plus 4 multiplied by 5 into z into z into z. Now what is the common factor in both cases? This 4 is common factor. Z is a common factor of these two. So 4 into z. So what is left out in the first term? Minus 4 plus what is left out in the second term? This 4 is a common factor. 5 into z into z. 5 into z into z. So answer is 4z multiplied by minus 4 plus 5z square, or you can write it as 4z 5z square minus 4. Right? So this is the factorization of these two terms. Let us do one more example here. Say 20 L square m plus 30 a into L into m. Now, what is the common factor of 20 and 30? Both are divisible by 10, right? So we can write it as 10 into 2 into L into L into m plus, here you can write 10 into 3 a into L into m. So what is the common factors of both these two terms? 10 is common factor, 10. Then L is a common factor of both term, L. Then m is also a common factor of both terms, m. So what is being left out in the first term here? Twice of L plus, here what is being left out in the second term? 3 into a into 3 into a only, right? So it is 10 L m multiplied by twice of L plus 3a. Now to cross check this answer whether it is correct or not, if you can multiply this and get back these two terms again, that means you are doing right thing. So let us multiply these two terms. 10 to the 20, L into L square m. Then 10 to the 30, a into L into m. 30 am. That means this is correct answer. let us do one more example here. Say this is x square y z plus x y square z plus x y z square. Let us factorize this. So if you write in factor form, in expanded form, you will write it as x into y into z plus this you can write x into y into z plus this you can write x into y into z into z. So what are the common factors in all cases? This x is a common factor of all these three terms. Then y is also a common factor of three terms. Then this z is also a common factor of all the three terms. Now what is being left out in the first term here? Only one x is left out. Here y is left out. Here only one z is left out. So we find that x, y, z into x plus y plus z. So this is the factorization of these three terms. Let us do one more example here. A x square y plus b x y square plus c x y z. Now let us write in a factor form this first term, a into x into y. Here second term is b into x into y plus third term is c into x into y into z. Now what is the common factor of all these three terms? A is not a common factor. X, this x is a common factor of all the three terms. Then y, this y is a common factor of all the three terms, right? So what is being left out in the first term? A into x plus in the second term this b and y is left out, by. Third term c and z, cz. So one side is x into y, ax plus by plus cz. This is the factorization of these three terms, right? Next we will do factorization by grouping terms. Now let us understand what is grouping here. Say for example, so we'll write by now we'll write no factorization by grouping. By grouping, or we can say rearranging terms. So let us do one example here. X square plus xy plus 8x plus 8y. Now you see in these two terms 8 is a common factor, whereas in these two terms x is a common factor. So we can group these two terms together and these two terms together. So if we take common factor of x here, you will find x plus y. And if you take 8 as a common factor of these two terms, you can write it as 8 into x plus y. Again you find two terms here. Now x plus y is a common factor of both these two terms. So you can take x plus y as a common factor. So what is being left out in the first term? X. And what is being left out in the second term? 8. So we find that it's a product of two terms, algebraic expression, x plus y into x plus 8. So this is the factor form of this algebraic expression, right? Similarly, let us do this 15xy minus 6x plus 5y minus 2. So how to group these terms? Let us think about 15 and 5. They have a common factor of 5, right? 5 is a common factor of 15 and 5. So let us group these two terms together first. 15xy plus 5y. Similarly, 6 and 2, they have a common factor. 2 is a common factor of 6x and 2. So we will group them together. 6x 2 minus 2. Now let us take common factors of these two terms. 5 is a common factor of these two terms. Again, y is a multiple of y is a factor of these two terms. So if we can take 5y common, then what is to be multiplied with 5y to get 15xy? We will multiply it by 3x, right? If you multiply 5y into 3x, you will get 15xy. Then we will write 1 is being left out after taking 5y from this term, right? 5y into 1, 5y. So what is the common factor of these two terms? 2 is a common factor. So 2 3s are 6, 3x, 2 1s are 2, 1. Now you see, if you do reverse thing, you should get these two terms. Minus 2 into 3 minus 6x. Minus 2 into plus 1 minus 2. Now what is the common factor of these two terms? 3x plus 1 is a common factor. So what is being left out here? 5y minus 2. So this is the factor form of this algebraic expression, right? We'll do a few more examples again. Say for example, this is ax plus bx minus ay minus by. Now we can group them like this. Ax plus bx, they have common factor. X is a common factor of both these two terms. So we can write it as x into a plus b. Here y is a common factor, a plus b. So it is minus y. If you do reverse thing, minus y into a minus ay, minus y into b minus by. Now what is the common factor of these two terms? A plus b is a common factor of both. So we will write a plus b into x minus y, right? So factorization of this algebraic expression is product of a plus b and x minus y. One more example. Say 15pq plus 15 plus 9q plus 25p, right? Now let us combine the terms containing q, right? So 15pq plus 9q plus 15 plus 25p. Now both are divisible by 3, right? Let us factorize this. 15pq means 3 into 5 into p into q. 9q, 3 into 3 into q. So what is the common factor? 3, then q, 3q. So after taking 3q as a common factor, what is being left out here? 5p plus, what is being left out here? 3, right? Plus, again you factorize this. 15 means 3 multiplied by 5. 25p means 5 into 5 into p. Now what is the common factor of these two terms? This 5 is a common factor. So if you take 5 as a common factor, what is being left out here? 3 plus, what is being left out here? 5p, right? So after taking 5 as a common factor, 3 is left out here. 5 3s are 15 plus 5p, 5p, 5 5s are 25p. Now we get it 5p plus 3 plus 5 into this, you can write in reverse order, 5p plus 3. Now 5p plus 3 is a common factor of these two terms, so we'll write it as 5p plus 3, then 3q plus 5. This is the factorization of this algebraic expression. Let's do one more example here. Z minus 7 plus 7xy minus xy. Now let us group these terms here. These two terms can be grouped together. So we'll write it as 7xy minus 7 plus z minus xyz. So what is the common factor of both these two terms? 7 is a common factor, so we can write it as xy minus 1, right? Plus z is a common factor of these two terms, 1 minus xy. Now you see we can group them. We can write it as xy minus 1 like this. 1 minus xy, we can write it as minus xy minus 1. If you reverse the order, then we'll put minus symbol outside the bracket. You see, again if you do reverse thing, you'll get minus xy minus minus plus 1. Same thing you can do here. 7xy minus 1 minus z xy minus 1. So if you write it negative sign, the order will be reversed, right? Say for example a minus b, you can write it as minus b minus a. If you multiply this, minus means minus 1. Minus 1 into b minus b, minus 1 into minus a, minus minus plus a. Right? Now you find xy minus 1 is a common factor of these two terms. So you can write it as xy minus 1 multiplied by 7 minus z. Right? So thank you viewers, we have covered a lot of exercise here. We will do similar exercise in next class again. Keep in touch.